Alright, and welcome everyone to round one of the Nebraska Esports SC2 Open. And we're going to start up right away with Jolly versus AmaramOPG. And this is a Platinum versus Platinum. That is, both players are in the Platinum League. And so we'll get to watch some pretty interesting games here, hopefully. So we're going to start up this replay right now. As you know, this tournament has already run on the 18th. We were unable to stream it then due to some technical difficulties. So we're going to go ahead and try to stream them now for everyone who wanted to watch those online. And so just loading up the first game here real quick, and we'll hop right into it. The first match is on MLG Antigua Shipyard, and as you can see, we have Jolly spawning as the green Zerg here in the 3 o'clock position against AmaramOPG as the yellow Terran in the 9 o'clock position. And like I said, both these players are in the Platinum League, and so they both have a pretty good grasp of the game. I imagine we'll see some pretty good play out of these players. I really like this matchup. ZVT is probably my favorite matchup. I personally feel like it's the most balanced of all the matchups in the game. Of course, obviously mirror matchups are innately balanced, but of all the non-mirror matchups, this is definitely my favorite one. It looks like the players experience a little bit of lag here at the beginning of the game, but we'll just have to wait and see if it affects their gameplay at all. So, given this matchup, there are a lot of different varieties of openers that you can do as a Zerg player against the Terran player. I'm going to speak largely from the Zerg perspective, just as a player that plays Zerg. Hatch First is a pretty popular opener and gives you that good economic advantage early on. You can also go for gas before pool for some early speedling sort of play. That's my personal favorite. It makes you a little bit safer against like a 2-racks opener from the Terran player, which is kind of designed to put some pressure on those hatch first sort of builds. And sorry, I'm getting a little distracted here by the chat. It looks like they had just a moment with the a problem with the lag there for a bit. But anyway, Jolly does go for a hatch first opener here, as I was mentioning. It gives you a good economic lead there, allows you to get a little bit ahead in the drone count, but it does come at the disadvantage of getting your pool quite a bit later, which makes it hard to hold off any sort of early pressure. Now we do see this SCV is out. He has seen everything here with the hatch first. Amaram, interestingly, does not want to go for any sort of 2-rack sort of pressure here. He's just going to stick to his normal standard, just kind of barracks and then gas sort of opener. But he is going to continue to scout around here and see everything that's going on inside Jolly's base. And I'm going to guess, based on what he sees here, he's going to feel very comfortable. He's not going to expect any sort of aggression here in the near future. And interestingly, we are seeing Amaram take a second gas pretty early. That's often an indication that he wants to do some sort of tech. We might be seeing an early factory out of him here to try to put some Hellion pressure in, or he could go into Starport and try to get some Banshees or drop play into this build pretty quickly. So the hatch has now finished for Jolly. He's going to Maynard a few workers over there to give him just that much more of a mineral advantage. If we look at the harvester count, things are still pretty even, but I would expect this to start to skyrocket for the Zerg player here as he gets his queens out, both queens in production right now. So like I said, we are seeing a factory going down for AmaramOPG, and he is making a few Marines here just out of his single barracks. And I wouldn't be surprised if when this factory was done, if we saw a starport and some sort of Banshee sort of player or something like that, just to put a bit of pressure on the Zerg player, keep him kind of pinned in his base for a bit, and hopefully get some drone kills. So we are seeing Spinecrawler go up at the front of the natural, very normal stuff, just wants to be able to hold off any sort of early pushes that might be coming out of his way. Would have liked to see him maybe make a handful of lings and continue scouting the front of Amaram's base. Here's the starport, about halfway done. We do have a tech lab finished on the factories. You can see it's lifting off so that Tech Lab can be received by the starport as soon as it's finished. So it does look like we will see some Banshees coming out. The question is whether or not he will go with Cloak on those Banshees. Jolly getting in here with a few Lings is going to see not a whole lot here at the front, and that's going to make him a little suspicious. Should tip him off a little bit about this Banshee sort of play. It would be nice if he had an Overlord that he could sack in there just to confirm his suspicions. But anyway, Tech Lab now on the starport, not seeing anything made out of it just yet. There we go, Cloak and a Banshee, so he's going to go with that Cloak. Now interestingly, Jolly has quite a bit of gas income right now. He has pulled quite a bit ahead in the harvester count, so now he's mining out of all 4 geysers. He's going to have a ton of gas, and I wouldn't be surprised if he started his lair here soon. He needs to if he's going to have the detection that he needs to hold this off, as he does not have an Evo chamber or any sorts of spore crawlers down right now either. He does have quite a few queens though, but he needs that detection to fend off this Cloak Banshee push. There we go. A lair has started, but will it finish in time? We do have an expansion going down for Amaram, as the command center has just finished. It might be a second before he flies it down there. Probably wants to get his orbital first and call down a mule, just to kind of pay back some of the cost of building that while it's in transit. Yeah, we're just going to have to wait a moment here and see what Jolly's defense is going to be against these Banshees. It does look like his lair will finish just in time. These Banshees have not head out quite yet. There's one going out right now, and I don't know if the second one's going to join it anytime soon. A couple Hellions out in the middle of the map just to take map control. And yeah, actually Jolly should probably be okay here. He needs to make an Overseer as soon as he can. Now note that Jolly's speed is actually pretty late this game, because he opted to do that fast expand and then tech with most of that gas. As you can see though, his gas has climbed quite a bit. He just has not been able to spend it here quite yet. Now he does have an Overseer on the way, so this Banshee that's poking here into the back of the natural might be able to get a few kills, but once that Overseer gets over there, these queens should be able to hold it off and prevent him from taking too much damage. So here we go, getting quite a few drone kills right now. Up to 4 kills right now. This Banshee needs to cloak and get out of there, but it's taking a ton of damage right now. And oh, it goes down. That's a huge misstep for Amaram. Second Banshee coming in here. Will cloak. There's going to be an Overseer here, though, to greet it, and it's really not going to get any damage done here at all before it has to retreat. So all in all, looking pretty good for Jolly. He was able to hold off that Banshee harass very easily. Did lose 4 drones, so I don't know if that really quite pays for the Banshee or not, but pretty good job by both players here so far. So as we can see, food counts are starting to favor Jolly, as he does have a substantial lead in harvesters right now, but the army counts are pretty even, actually favoring Jolly a little bit right now. But here we go, we do have these Hellions coming in right now. They're going to see this drone moving out to the 3rd to take it. They're going to snipe it before it's able to start building the hatch. But he is aware of the intentions of Jolly. These Lings are going to come out and get a good surround, actually, and kill all of those Hellions without taking too many losses, and the 3rd will go down pretty easily. Now we're seeing additional factories and barracks go down for Amaram. He does have his expansion up and running and bunkers to keep him safe. He needs to probably start using this gas here at his natural if he wants to support all these factories. And it looks like he's going to go into a very marine tank heavy sort of play. Now mutas are coming out right now for Jolly. He has started +1 attack. He is starting +1 melee attack as well for his Lings. Quite a bit of mutas are finished. I would like to see him probably go in here and do a bit of harassment. He's probably waiting for a certain number of those just so that he can take out missile turrets and those sort of things, as they are maybe just a tad light. Here comes the Banshee in to the natural, again getting picked off by that spore crawler without doing any damage at all really. And the mutas are going to get in and probably do quite a bit of damage. Not too many missile turrets here to defend, and a good number of mutas able to snipe those missile turrets if they want to. Here they go, they're taking out the missile turret, gonna just wreck all sorts of havoc here in the main of AmaRam, killing tons and tons of workers. And if I could remember the shortcut to bring that up real quick, I would, but I don't want to look like a fool. So here we go, he's targeting down the orbital command. Actually, we're going to take that out without losing a single muta. There goes one muta down. These Marines are going to push these guys out, but that is a huge, huge, huge blow to AmaRam's economy right now, as Jolly's even taking his fourth in this kind of non-traditional space. I feel like not the first place I would expect if I were the Terran player for him to be taking his fourth. So right now AmaRam supply blocked from that harass. A lot of Marines and tanks, but not able to really get any more out. He's trying to build this command center. He needs to get on supply block here pronto and put on some sort of pressure to get back into this, but at this point he is pretty far behind. I don't know if he can really engage this army. There's quite a bit of mutas and a lot of lings still out on the map. Mutas flying into the natural right now, going to pick off these empty bunkers. Nope, they're going to fly in, get chased off by these Marines, and then go straight into the main. Going to camp production here for a bit, take out some add-ons, and ooh, he's going to stop Blue Flame. That's actually quite a big deal here, because that's going to allow him to be a lot safer with his ling heavy composition. And then he's going to probably take out these factories before they can make these Hellions that are in production, and that's also going to really hurt AmaRam in this position. I'm not quite sure what is going on here. He hasn't brought up his Marines at all to try to defend this. He's just going to go for it. He's bringing all his SCVs with him. He must just understand that he is way too far behind to be dancing around between his main and his natural to try to hold this off, and he's just going to go with everything. And unfortunately for him, Jolly has seen this. He does have a Baneling nest, so he's going to make quite a few Banelings here and be able to hold this off with a tremendous amount of ease. And so Jolly is just waiting to see his opponent come up to his creep here. These Banelings are going to finish just in time. Here come the mutas picking off a lot of these SCVs, and the Banelings don't have speed yet, but they are going to come in and they are going to connect. Oh, these Banelings detonating on these tanks. I'm not sure if I like that idea, but it doesn't even really matter just because there are so many mutas. And there's the GG. Game 1 goes to Jolly over AmaRam. And so these are best of 3 if you recall. So we will be back with Game 2 here in a moment and see if AmaRam can come back and tie it up. We'll just stick around. We'll be back in a moment.